Have you ever noticed that some women never flirt in obvious ways? Instead of bold compliments or direct advances, they quietly test your awareness. This becomes even more common when you are a man over 50. Women behave differently around you. They don't want to appear needy. They don't want to seem too available. So rather than flirting openly, they ask certain kinds of questions. And here's what most men completely miss. When a woman feels drawn to an older man, she almost always asks two very specific questions. They don't sound romantic on the surface. In fact, they often feel casual, but they are signals hidden in plain sight. Before we uncover them, take a second to support the channel. Tap the like button and comment if you've ever realized a woman was interested only after the moment had passed. Your engagement helps this message reach men who need it. Many men over 50 believe they've become invisible, especially to younger women or even women their own age. But the truth is often the opposite. A mature man can be more attractive than ever when he understands how feminine psychology actually works. The real issue isn't lack of interest. It's misinterpretation. It's walking through life assuming she's just being polite, when in reality, she was opening a door. Women rarely express attraction directly. Instead, they observe. They test your emotional steadiness, your presence, and your attention to subtle details. Feminine interest is often quiet and layered. When a woman starts seeing you as someone she could trust emotionally, physically, and intimately, her energy shifts. Casual conversation slowly turns into intentional curiosity. At this stage, she begins asking questions meant to reveal three things: your inner strength as a man, whether you are grounded or insecure, and whether you are emotionally available and perceptive. This is the moment when the two key questions appear. But to understand why they matter so much, you need to understand the deeper psychology behind them. Many men over 50 expect clear, straightforward signals. They grew up in a time when communication was more direct. But today, even mature women express attraction differently. She won't say, "I'm attracted to you," or "I want to get closer." Instead, she explores. She tests the space between you through conversation. There's a quiet fear many women carry, especially with older men. If she shows interest too openly, she worries about being seen as needy or exposed. So she disguises attraction as curiosity. She hides desire inside questions that seem harmless if you're not paying attention. And if you miss them, she usually won't try again. Women rarely repeat emotional invitations. Feminine psychology works in layers. Women use questions the way men use actions. When a man feels drawn to someone, he offers direction, help, protection, or leadership. When a woman feels drawn to someone, she asks a question that gently leans toward closeness. There are countless questions people ask every day, but only two show up consistently when a woman is quietly exploring intimacy with a grounded, mature man. I'll share them shortly. But first, understand this. She isn't asking to gather information. She's asking to feel your energy. She's sensing whether you are calm, whether you are steady, whether you are open without chasing, whether you stand comfortably in your masculine presence or hide behind politeness. These questions aren't about facts. They are about connection. They create a subtle emotional bridge between you and her. Most men answer these questions literally. A more aware man understands what's really being asked. Because when she asks them, she isn't collecting data. She's checking alignment. She's checking awareness. She's checking whether you're the kind of man who notices what exists beneath the surface. When a woman feels drawn to you, she doesn't need proof of money, strength, or past achievements. What she needs is to feel your awareness, your presence, your emotional stillness. These two questions matter because they are never random. They are invitations, quiet ones. The first question a woman asks when she feels attraction is designed to reveal one thing only: your openness. Not your schedule, not your routines, but your emotional availability. She is sensing whether there is space in your inner world. This is not a logical question. It's psychological. Beneath the words, she is asking, is this man open or closed? Is he capable of connection, or is he hiding behind structure and habit? If I step closer, will I be welcomed or quietly blocked? Women avoid investing emotional energy where there is no opening, so they test gently before moving forward. This first question is her version of leaning in slightly to see if you remain present or pull away. Most men miss this moment entirely because they answer it casually, assuming it's small talk. They don't realize it's a doorway. The second question appears when her interest deepens. This one is about your direction, not your job title, not your plans, but your inner alignment. She wants to feel whether your life has intention, steadiness, and masculine grounding. Women don't open emotionally to men who drift. They open to men who are anchored, men who know who they are, where they stand, and how they move through life. Through this question, she is quietly asking, is this man emotionally alive? Is he stable within himself? Can I feel safe around his presence? Does he have boundaries, or is he floating without purpose? This question isn't about facts, it's about essence. When she asks it, she's imagining what closeness with you would feel like. A woman may notice a man's appearance, but she only moves toward him when she desires his presence. This question allows her to sense the man beneath the surface. These questions carry even more weight for men over 50. By this stage of life, many women assume something about an older man. They believe his emotional story is already written, that his life is full, closed, or settled. So they hesitate unless they feel there is real space for them to matter. These two questions, soft, simple, and almost invisible, are her way of checking whether she would be entering a life with room for her, and whether the man she's drawn to is still moving forward with purpose. You might miss compliments. You might overlook body language. But if you miss these two questions, you miss the moment she opens the door. And once that door closes, most women do not reopen it. When a woman wants intimacy with an older man, not just conversation, but emotional and physical closeness, she tests the connection through two specific questions. These questions appear across cultures and ages because they come straight from feminine psychology. Here is the first one. Do you spend a lot of time alone? It sounds harmless, but it isn't. What she's really asking is there space? She is testing whether your world is open or sealed shut, whether you allow closeness or live behind rigid routines. Women phrase it in different ways. Do you usually go out alone? You seem comfortable on your own. Is that true? Are you seeing anyone or just doing your own thing lately? This question is never about loneliness. It's about access. A woman only asks it when she has already imagined herself somewhere near your life. She wants to know whether she could enter your world without forcing her presence. If she felt nothing for you, she wouldn't care how you spend your time. But when she feels drawn to the calm, grounded energy many mature men carry, she needs to know whether that world has a door or a wall. Most men answer that question literally. They say things like, "Yes, I'm alone most of the time," or "Not really, it depends." But a grounded man hears what is underneath the words. He understands she is not asking about his schedule. She is checking his openness. She is testing whether closeness with him is even possible. To respond in a way that builds attraction, your energy must stay balanced, calm, steady, open but never hungry. You don't explain. You don't overcorrect. You simply reveal emotional availability without neediness. A response like, "I enjoy my space, but I'm always open to good company," or "I value my routines, but I'm open to someone who adds something meaningful," does exactly that. It communicates openness without chasing. It subtly suggests that your life has structure, but also space. And it quietly implies that she could be someone allowed into that space. This tone is powerful because it's what women respond to most. Open, but not empty. Receptive, but not dependent. Strong, without being closed off. When you answer this way, she feels warmth, possibility, and emotional safety. And that naturally leads her to the second question, the one that signals deeper interest. The second question is usually some version of, "What are you looking for these days?" This is never casual. It's not small talk. It's not curiosity for the sake of conversation. This is a woman exploring you as a romantic option. If she felt nothing for you, she would never risk asking something this personal. It carries vulnerability. And women reserve vulnerability for men they see potential with. She may phrase it differently. What do you want in your life right now? What direction are you moving in? What are you focused on lately? What are you hoping to find at this stage? No matter the wording, the purpose is the same. She is sensing your inner direction. For a woman to open emotionally or physically to a man, especially a mature man, she needs to feel certainty. She needs to sense that he knows who he is, that he knows what matters to him, that he is not drifting through life or stuck replaying old chapters. This question helps her answer something important inside herself. Is this man moving forward? Does his life have structure, intention, and purpose? Could I walk beside this direction and feel safe, led, and grounded? Is this a man I could trust with my vulnerability? Many men break this moment without realizing it. They answer too literally. They say things like, "I'm just looking for peace," or "I'm taking things day by day," or "I'm not really sure right now." What she hears isn't honesty. She hears drifting. And women don't invest themselves in men who drift, regardless of age. You don't need a long explanation to answer this well. You don't need to reveal your entire life. You only need direction, something simple and grounded. You could say, "I'm building a stronger, simpler chapter with the right people," or "I'm focused on connection that feels natural, not forced," or "I'm living with intention and choosing experiences that actually matter." These responses do three things at once. They show you're moving forward, not stuck. They show emotional clarity and self-awareness, and they quietly create space for her to imagine herself fitting into your direction. That space is powerful for a woman, because it signals something she is always looking for, whether she says it or not. It tells her you are awake, present, and not emotionally asleep. And here is what most men over 50 never fully realize. Women are drawn to men who are alive on the inside, not just physically present, but emotionally awake. These two questions are directly connected to female desire because women don't test men randomly. They test based on emotional readiness. When she asks if you spend a lot of time alone, she is sensing your openness. When she asks what you are looking for these days, she is sensing your direction. The logic is simple. A man who is emotionally open and moving with purpose creates pull. He becomes someone a woman can lean toward without fear. Women do not need perfection. They need clarity. And clarity creates safety. Safety is what allows desire to grow naturally. That is why these two questions appear again and again, even when the woman herself may not consciously understand why she is asking them. Picture a real moment. You are talking with a woman in a cafe, a bookstore, a gathering, or even online. The conversation flows easily. There is a calm rhythm between you. She smiles longer than necessary. She adjusts her posture. Her attention stays with you. Then she asks, almost casually, "So, do you spend a lot of time alone?" This is not small talk. This is her first emotional step toward you. She is opening the door just enough to see how you respond. If you answer with presence and grounded calm, the energy deepens. If you respond with confusion, defensiveness, or emotional closure, the connection fades quietly. Later, sometimes minutes later, sometimes days later, she asks the second question. What are you looking for these days? This is the defining moment. This is her deciding whether she can move closer, or should step back. When you answer with clarity, she feels possibility. When you answer with uncertainty, she retreats without explanation. Men often believe these moments are random. They are not. They are emotional checkpoints. And women almost never ask these two questions to men they feel nothing for. Here is what you must understand. A woman who wants intimacy will rarely say it directly. She will not confess attraction. She will not chase. She will ask questions. Are you open emotionally? Do you have space? Are you alive inside? Do you move with intention? These questions are not about your plans. They are about your energy. When you recognize them, you enter the moment with awareness. When you miss them, the moment disappears. Women rarely offer the same emotional invitation twice. Remember this: a woman does not test your words. She tests your presence. If you learn to recognize the questions she uses to signal interest, you will never again wonder whether a woman is attracted to you. Women communicate desire in subtle, emotional ways. This matters even more for mature men. Women see older men differently. They expect depth, calm, and clarity. A younger man is allowed to be uncertain. A man over 50 is expected to know who he is and where he stands. When a woman asks questions about your openness or your direction, she is not gathering information. She is feeling your emotional landscape. She is deciding whether stepping closer will feel safe, meaningful, and grounding. If this message resonated with you, comment, "I see the signs," below. Your engagement helps this reach more men who need this awareness. Subscribe to Stoic Pro for deeper insights into masculine calm, emotional intelligence, and attraction rooted in strength and presence. For many women, the holiday season amplifies emotions more than any other time of the year. This emotional mix can feel warm and meaningful, but also tender and exposed. If you want to genuinely reach her heart during this time, it has nothing to do with money, luxury, or dramatic displays. It comes down to three essential qualities that communicate depth, care, and emotional intelligence. The first is deep listening, not simply hearing her words, but sensing the emotion behind them. During the holidays, women often reflect on what the year has taken from them and what it has given. When you listen without interrupting, correcting, or rushing to fix things, you offer something rare: presence. Paying attention to her tone, her pauses, and what she doesn't say creates a quiet, emotional safety. This kind of listening is active, not passive. It tells her that her inner world matters more to you than distractions or appearances. Women feel this immediately, and when a man listens this way, he becomes grounding, memorable, and deeply reassuring. The second is creating warmth through shared presence. This does not require grand romance. It requires intention. A calm walk under holiday lights, a slow conversation without phones, or a simple moment where time is allowed to stretch naturally. What matters is that the moment feels unforced and emotionally present. When a woman feels safe enough to relax into the moment with you, intimacy forms quietly. Warmth is not created by impressing. It is created by consistency, calm energy, and emotional availability. The third and most overlooked element is acknowledgement. Every woman wants to feel recognized as an individual, not just as a role in your life. Christmas is a powerful time to reflect back to her who she is. Not in exaggerated praise, but in honest recognition. Noticing her strengths, her resilience, her character, or the way she impacts others carries deep emotional weight. A thoughtful note, a sincere observation, or a meaningful word spoken with presence can stay with her far longer than any gift. Acknowledgement touches something fundamental. It tells her she is seen, valued, and understood. And when a woman feels truly acknowledged, emotional closeness deepens naturally. That sense of connection cannot be purchased or performed. It is built through attention, intention, and emotional clarity. This is the kind of presence that lingers long after the season ends.